you can manage to do the long working hours, as long as you manage to finish, if you work smart enough, then you don't have to sit in the office. As Mr. Narayanamurthy said, just because you sit in the office for a long period of time doesn't mean you're more efficient. Doesn't mean that at all. But if you're called upon sometimes to do, nothing more beyond that. And as I walked into the long corridor, and then they had what's known as a West Wing, euphemistically known as West Wing, which is you have to swipe your card and go through, and the top people sit in a separate enclosed glass space. That itself is a disaster for a company, but that's not relevant for us. So as I walked through the corridor, I was told that I had to meet their executive management board, which comprised of four or five top executives of the company, and I had to meet them, and though the company was happy to hire me, I needed to be approved by them. Fine. So I walked in, and as I walked through the corridors, I could see a lot of ladies working at desktops, quite a few of them. I saw no men in the room, hardly, maybe 2, 3, 4 here. I said, oh, this is a great company, it's got a lot of ladies. I walked through and they said, oh, this is the West Wing, and they opened the grand doors and I walked in. Actually, then I found all of them. The first question I was asked was, oh, you have young children. How do you think you can become the vice president or legal of this company? So, what happens if your child falls sick or your husband falls sick and, you need to take time off? I was shocked because that was the day there was the World Cup. It was the Calcutta. It was the World Cup. And all the men were absent because they all were watching the World Cup match. Okay, and all the women were working because they had to work. And my question was, guys, I don't see any men in this office because I said women never take off because they take time off because they have to watch a World Cup. They all take time off because someone is sick in the family, their children are sick, or they are needed for somebody else. Nobody takes off, except for holidays, then that's different. But nobody takes off with, to watch the World Cup or to go for cricket matches or to go golfing. So, in terms of commitment, what do you expect me to answer? Fortunately, I was hired by that company and they're all good friends, but I'm just telling you how it comes, family welfare versus company interest. Everybody asks you, what are you going to do? How will you manage your children? Flexi time at work, will it be at the cost of career advancement? I don't know the answer to this. Sometimes, perhaps it is. Maybe not. But, the story of Yahoo and Marissa Mayer now telling everybody get back to the office. So I don't know too much about, working from home, flexi time, how it's going to work over a period of time. For the company, priority for company interests, can it put the individual, suppose you take off, 2 years. I've had a baby, I want to take off 2 years from work. What will the company do in the meantime? They'll fill in the spot because they can't, especially if you're in, on an upward track, they can't afford to keep quiet. So they'll have to put somebody in the spot. You come back after 2 years, one, world has moved on. Two, that position has been filled by somebody. What will the company do? You expect, no, but I demand that. It is a dilemma for companies too. Please understand that. So before you make choices and before you make decisions, and there's nothing wrong about making such a decision to take off time, so please don't think that the message I'm giving is wrong. Please think a little bit. Also, you have to look at, the company will have to look at itself. Flexible rules, should it be for all employees? Should everyone take off, 3 months because of maternity leave or because of, should that be allowed? Flexi timings, sabbaticals, should that be allowed? Or differential rules for some. Too many differential rules creates only anger and frustration. Hiring the best talent. You always say, no, but you need to include women. Our company had a policy, diversity policy, saying that when you look at candidates, everything being equal, hire women. And I was the one who opposed it. I said, no, don't do that. Just hire the best talent possible. Don't keep this at the back of your head. Because you have targets and quotas are really, not just to be quotas actually, quotas are really not so good. You need a gender-sensitive, soft, kind, gentler space. Of course, we all need that. But you have to thrive. You go to the jungle, to the market. It's not gender-friendly. It's not gender-sensitive. So what will companies do? So think that companies also have problems. What I'm trying to say is that it's not an individual problem all the time. You need to come out of yourself and push yourself upward rather than expecting companies and persons to do things for you. What is it that we need? Decisiveness. Of course, you need to be very decisive, very clear on what we do. Courage, conviction, and confidence. All the three are important. Try and be part of the solution. If you all the time put up problems and say, this is a challenge, that's a challenge, it doesn't work, try and find the solution. Ability to prioritize in life. You can't have everything in life. Commitment to time and energy. Learn to say yes, but also, if there's unreasonable demand, somebody expects you to stay back in office every day at 10 o'clock in the night, learn to say no and they will turn to respect you over time. And if they don't, then the company is not worth working for. Assertiveness, assertive, different from aggression. Demand the right place and showcase. If you've done something well, you think are capable of doing something well, stand up and speak for it. Make the right choice. Deal with conflict upfront. Don't sort of keep swallowing and get that anger and frustration just makes you, sort of makes you smaller and smaller over time. Mentally, I'm talking about. So you can't be perfect at everything all the time. Nobody is perfect. Everyone has strengths, everyone has weaknesses. So don't expect to be the perfect person and don't get into this guilt trap. Say no to, these I've just gone through, this is just a summary. Quotas and tokenism, I don't think that works. Special favors, try as much as possible not to ask for special favors. Unequal and inequitable treatment, say no, stand up. Get out of comfort zones. And any form of overt and covert bullying, don't stand up. Don't wait till it goes to sexual harassment. Any form of it, just do it. I do that. I'm the ombudsperson for the Bharti group, and I do face a lot of issues. People are, why did you wait for so many months? Or what is consensual becomes, sexual harassment at one time. So there are lots of issues that we face, and I keep saying, why did you keep quiet so long?